That's next on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Very, very fast.
Free Speech Friday, Senator Eric Schmidt, about getting rid of fraud, waste, and abuse in government and USAID going away. That was writer, producer, and founder of Overstock.com. Patrick Byrne, interesting stuff there and more on the Joe Pack Show. Let's talk tonight, 8 till midnight, on News Talk 820 at 93.3 FM, WBAP.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are 2 very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which can cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call Trajan today at 469-579-3500. That's 469-579-3500. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
A huge lakefront grand opening is taking place this Saturday, April 5th on Bodog Lake. 17,000-acre recreational lake just 50 miles north of Dallas. This highly anticipated one-day-only event will consist of 20 new lakefronts being released to the public.
Need to bring that candy.
Waterfront start at only $89.9. Yes, you can purchase nearly 3 acres of lakefront for under $90,000 next Saturday. The property sits on the main channel with a mile of gentle rolling shoreline, deep water, big lake views in one of the most desirable areas of the lake. Imagine waking up, jumping on your boat, and escaping the city without being too far from home. Come see for yourself why this area is quickly becoming the must-see location in Texas. This lakefront event will start at 10 a.m. on Bodog Lake, so call now, 800-675-1800. Do not miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own nearly 3 acres of lakefront for under $90,000 this Saturday. Call now, 800-675-1800, 800-675-1800.
See, I would rather park on this side.
The other side.
Here, south of Dallas, 45 southbound as you approach Illinois Avenue. Still have that jackknife 18-wheeler traffic is solid past I-30, bleeding onto 75, actually 75 southbound from Lover's Lane to I-30, well over an hour delay, so definitely avoid that area if you can. In Dallas North Tollway southbound at Lover's Lane, working an accident, right lane block traffic is solid from Royal Lane, about a 15-minute delay. In Carrollton, still have that headache. I-35 southbound at Sandy Lake, 2 left lanes remain blocked due to a crash. Traffic is backed up to Corporate Drive, well over an hour delay there. And in Farmers Branch, still have the 2 left lanes blocked due to a crash on 635 westbound at Luna Road. And the traffic is stacked up past I-35, about a 15-minute delay. And in Fort Worth, talking to heavy traffic, East Loop 820 southbound between Barry and I-20, about a 15-minute delay. With WBAP Traffic, I'm Dan Miles.
Brought to you by Lone Star Masonry Repair. Cracks and broken bricks don't just look bad. They can let in all kinds of bugs and things you don't want. Call Lone Star Masonry Repair and let them fix the cracks and match the mortar so well you won't even know they were there. Go to LoneStarMasonryRepair.com. From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Well, hey there. Welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Listen, this being a Friday show, I didn't want to leave you with just a bunch of nerdy tariff talk or dismal weather reports or anything. I wanted to have a little bit of fun before we got out of here. So let's make fun of our neighbors over in Florida. I like to do Florida stories every once in a while. I just find a whole bunch of crazy stuff that's happening in our favorite dangling state that's hanging out in the Atlantic Ocean, and share it with you just so we can all get a good chuckle at them. They have a guy on death row over in Florida, and his name's Michael Tansey. He's convicted of kidnapping and killing a woman in 2000. He's asking for leniency regarding his execution because he's so damn fat. Now, that's not what it says on the legal brief there. They are classifying this as morbid obesity, but they're saying it would complicate his lethal injection because of his size, and he is a man of size. They say that we don't know if the concoction, the combination of lethal injection chemicals will work on him correctly because, it's just proportionately speaking, I don't know, how do we know this is going to be the right dose? So now there's a concern that it could cause serious illness, needless suffering. Dude, you're supposed to die. I never get this explanation on why we can't do that. I think it's just you're against the death penalty. You're not really worried about the lethal injection. Because you see this in other states where like, well, we can't kill him. We're out of the lethal injection drug. Well, then use fentanyl or something, or go to the states where they're trying to do euthanasia. Whatever Kevorkian had, go borrow some of that. Go borrow some of whatever they're killing their citizens with in Canada. You can't do that. So I don't know if this is going to work. It's actually still up in the air. The attorneys are not responding to comment to the local NBC News affiliate, so I don't really get any more details on his side of the story other than the fact that they're trying to get him out of getting the death penalty because he's so fat. Would that be embarrassing? Is that what you want to be known for? Another Florida story here. This is just a weird overreaction. We have a Florida woman who saw... she has a pond in her backyard. On the other side of the pond, she saw two boys fishing. Well, that sounds like trespassing to her. So she called 911 to report the two boys who were allegedly fishing in her backyard. I don't know why they say allegedly fishing. It's not like fishing's a crime. But while she's on the phone with the 911 operator, she pulls out what's described as a long gun.
That helps.
Long gun? Was that a shotgun? Is that a 30-06? And she makes them put their hands up, and then she makes them lie face down on the ground. And so these kids are just shaking. They're worried for their lives. They're like 11 and 12 years old. They don't tell you the age because they're minors, but judging by the blurred out images in the body cam footage, they look like they're maybe 12 at the most. This lady was out there with a pellet gun. A pellet gun? Oh my God, you're gonna get yourself killed, lady. Look, here's a little tip. If you're gonna brandish a weapon and pretend like it's a deadly weapon and you have a pellet gun, you are escalating to a situation of lethal force, and you don't have lethal force. Oh my God, that's just so dumb. Does it get dumber than that? Well, of course it gets dumber than that. We go to Palm Beach. This is from BocaNewsNow.com. A lady is driving because she's going to go to the country club. She's got a golf lesson. And I think she was running late because she may have hit and run over a golfer on the course. And this is still allegedly. It hasn't been adjudicated now. So don't sue me now, but according to the paperwork that's on Boca News Now, it looked like she maybe had something to drink beforehand. Maybe, I don't know, was it bottomless mimosa brunch day or something at the country club? But her excuse, and I always find these, this sense of entitlement just jaw-dropping.
excuse for hitting the guy and then running off, cops obviously going to catch up with her pretty quick, was that she was late. She's late for her golf lesson. Ah, yes. If you're late for your golf lesson, then you don't have to stop when you hit another human being and run over them with your car. Your very nice Mercedes, by the way. Oh, yes. Oh, golf lesson. Did you say golf? Oh, well, that's important. You got to work on that slice. Keep it moving along now. We'll just get this guy some medical help and we won't bother you any further. Just, can you make up something better than that? I find it hard to believe that these people are thinking, maybe I should just tell them the truth, when the truth is so damn bad. For my next Florida story, we go to Palm Bay, Florida. There's a shopping center off Interchange Drive. I have no idea where that's at, but it looks like just a little strip mall. And so there was a guy that was just hanging out there dressed as a clown. And he's asking people for money, I guess. I don't know. It says he was harassing customers as they were going in and out of stores. I assume he was panhandling or something. I don't know. Maybe he's just a guy that's all cracked out and saying weird things. You see that sometimes. But he doesn't sound like that when he gets arrested. The cops show up and they arrest the guy, but he's in a clown suit. And when they put the video on the website, they bleep out all the cussing with clown horns. And so now I'm not even, my ire, my focus, my laughs aren't even for the idiot that's getting arrested in a clown suit. It's how much fun is it being the news guy in Florida? If you've got to go out there and, you know, for most, I worked at TV news before. For most states, it's like, how are we going to fill up this half hour? Well, for Florida, that's got to be easy. They're like, look at this cornucopia. Look at this plethora of fantastic material we have to work with. They're only working on ways to jazz it up. How do we do this and make it distinct from all the other dumb clown-esque stories that we've had? They probably had 20 this month. And they get so creative with it. They're like, let's put horn sounds on it. So just enjoy with me now. This is supposed to be body cam footage for a news outlet in Florida, Palm Bay, and they use the clown horn for the beat. Is this just hilarious or what?
Don't go anywhere, Chris. You're not free to leave. No, you're not free to leave. You're under arrest now. Put yourself down there. That's right. Turn over now. Turn over now. Here. Turn over.
Honky. So you see grown men in a mortal struggle with this funny little shaky horn. I don't know why I enjoyed that so much, but it's a guy, the body cam footage, the guy's dressed like a clown. What's he doing? I don't know. I have no explanation for any of this. I just enjoy it quite a bit. All right, thank you very much for hanging out with me. That's going to do it for today's edition of Florida Stories. God, that shouldn't be so fun. All right, Blue Ribbon Rookies 2025 WeatherCon from News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3, and Fox 4 is going to give us a little support out there. It's happening at the Frontiers of Flight Museum, Saturday, April 26th, 9:30 in the morning to 1:30. I'll be out there. Hal J, Brad Barton, a bunch of other people from WBAP and Fox 4 will be out there. So come on out, say hi. It's absolutely free. And over the weekend, remember the James Show, when you're locked in the handicap stall, or you're trying to escape, or you're mowing the lawn, and you need to be entertained for a little bit, go check out the interview I did with Frank Caliendo yesterday. We have the podcast of all the shows from this week up available. Doesn't cost anything. Find it at WBAP.com, WBAP app. I also put the video with Frank Caliendo on the WBAP Facebook, YouTube, and X feed, Twitter feed. Come back Monday. We'll do this again. I'm James Parker. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
At work or at home, get breaking news, traffic, weather, and business information on our free app, WBAP Streaming, powered by InvestYRefi.com. That's Invest, the letter Y, REFY.com.
Hi, I'm Billy Kinder, host of Big Billy Kinder Outdoors, heard every week right here on WBAP and across the United States. If you have a product or service that would benefit outdoorsmen and women, talk to us about advertising. 817-360-4539. This is Victor McClure, president of McClure Capital, and for decades, the host of the Common Sense Investing Show. In appreciation to all the listeners, I want to offer you a free copy of my very first book, The Common Sense Investing Guide to Retirement. This is your definitive guide to everything retirement. I put my 30-plus years as a retirement planner into one book. If you're within 20 years of retirement or currently retired, this book is the most informative guide you'll ever own. How do you get the most out of Social Security? How to properly plan for taxes, inflation, healthcare. How to get the most out of your Medicare. How to allocate your assets before and during retirement. There is a difference. How to avoid the single biggest threat to retirement. Believe it or not, it's not inflation or taxes. Most importantly, how to guarantee you'll achieve the retirement of your dreams and to make sure it lasts for the rest of your life. Call for a free copy at 972-715-2424. That's 972-715-2424. Or go to ilovemyretirement.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Tired of making the same weight loss resolutions every year? It's time to break the cycle. Get started with Mochi Health. Meet one-on-one with a board-certified obesity medicine doctor from the comfort of your own home and see if a GLP-1 medication is right for you. If so, we'll have it delivered straight to your door. I knew that I wasn't in good health. Then one day I went to get my blood work done, and the results were not good. I was potentially going to take time away from my children. With Mochi Health, I've lost 60 pounds. I'm just really happy that my kids get to grow up with a mom who can do things with them.
Start with our free quiz at joinmochi.com. That's joinmochi.com. Take our free quiz today and use the code DFW Radio to get $40 off your first month. Begin your journey with Mochi Health at joinmochi.com. That's joinmochi.com.
Real patients were compensated to share their experiences. Results may vary. Eligible GLP-1 patients typically lose 1 to 2 pounds per week in the first 6 months with Mochi when combined with a healthy lifestyle.
Check out joinmochi.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients. Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
The big media are out to stop President Trump at any cost. ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, they're all the same. President Trump doesn't trust the big media, even Fox News. Now, millions of Americans are turning to Newsmax. Nielsen reports almost 30 million Americans tuned into Newsmax last quarter. And President Trump is one. He watches Newsmax and says it's terrific. So tune in tonight to watch Rob Finnerty's series, The Big Media's War on Trump. Every night, Rob Finnerty is exposing their big lies and gives you the straight talk you want. Find Newsmax on all major cable systems. Or download the free Newsmax app on your phone or home TV now. Millions have made the switch to Newsmax. You should too.
Hi, I'm Brad Barton. Do you want the fastest way to know what your home would sell for? Reach out to Dan Harker and Empower Home Team. Simply text your address to 800-763-3000. 800-763-3000. That's 800-763-3000.
DFW's News Talk, traffic and weather station. News Talk 820 WBAP, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Halton City, Dallas, Fort Worth. And KPLX FM HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Streaming live on our free mobile app. A Cumulus media station. Trending now.
It's a trade war dogfight. China bites back, markets tank. I'm Kimberly James in the 24-hour Breaking News Center.
Classic Chevrolet.
Say I put coffee when I got something to drink.
First, traffic and weather.
On the one.
Yeah, because your frame is already
Dallas
broke.
still had that road closure in place due to a Jackneck 18-wheeler, which actually happened at the end of the morning hour drive time.
Stuck on the
Still on
road.
45 southbound as you approach Illinois Avenue. Traffic is being detoured to SM Wright Freeway. Traffic is stacked solid past I-30 onto 75. In fact, 75 Central Expressway.
Me, I'm always
southbound
doing
from
my
Lovers
water
to
therapy.
I-30. Well over an
Water
hour
therapy
delay.
is
And
what
staying
broke
in
my
Dallas, the
brain
Dallas North
every
Tollway southbound
morning.
at Lovers Lane have an accident blocking the right lane.
Warm water
Traffic is
every
stacked up
morning.
to
1 cup
Royal
of
Lane,
warm
about a
water.
15-minute delay, and in Carrollton. Still have that headache going on. 2 left lanes are blocked due to a crash on I-35 southbound at Sandy Lake. Almost an hour delay there, and in Mesquite. Pocket of heavy traffic still on Highway 80 eastbound
How come
from
that I have no
Beltline
viewers
to
today?
FM 460.
No what?
About a 30-minute
No
delay there.
viewers.
With WBAP First Traffic
No
and
one
Weather
is
on the ones,
viewing.
I'm Dan Miles.
Classic Chevrolet and Greenville.
Everyone.
Back-to-back #1 Chevrolet dealership in the world. More new Chevrolets to choose from than anyone. All priced to sell at ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023 and 2024.
Maybe they're boycotting you.
Meteorologist Jessica Wheelup. 51 tonight, widespread showers and storms by
On
daybreak
this
on
time,
Saturday.
I already
Less
got
showers and
like
storms
20
becoming less
something
in coverage
showing
by the afternoon on Saturday. 54 the high,
screen.
mostly cloudy and dry on Sunday, 57.
58 right now in Dallas, 57 in Fort Worth. News is brought to you by Classic Chevrolet and McGowan Publishing. U.S. markets
You
plunging
don't
today
like
after
my
President
title?
Trump's announcement of reciprocal
I
tariffs
just
this
put
week.
on the way to
Federal
load
Reserve
this.
Chair Jerome Powell.
Higher tariffs will be working their way through our economy and are likely to raise inflation in coming quarters. By most measures, longer-term inflation expectations, those beyond just the next few years, remain well anchored.
President Trump maintains stock market changes are only temporary. Big losses today on Wall Street. The Dow off 2,231 points, or down 5.5%. NASDAQ down 963. That's 5.8%, now into bear market territory. The S&P losing 322, or 5.9%. President Trump says entrepreneur Elon Musk is expected to leave the federal government within a few months.
President Trump's tariffs sent
More
a
people
shockwave
here.
through Wall Street and around the world, with the U.S. stock market losing more than $3 trillion in value yesterday. But the president says this is a great negotiation tactic, and he expects the markets to bounce back better than ever. President
I
Trump
got
also
one.
says his cost-cutting efforts with Doge will continue
Hello.
even when Musk leaves his position as a
Hello,
federal
hello,
government
hello,
employee.
hello.
Now, Musk's
What's the
130-day mandate expires late next month, but the president says he wants to keep him on the team as long as possible.
That's Brooke Singman reporting. In your money news, powered by McGowan Group Wealth Management, free falling stocks on Wall Street, and that piles on to a worldwide sell-off once again today. Stocks plunging with the Nasdaq entering into a bear market as trade tensions drive recession fears. Investors are brushing off a surprisingly good jobs report for March and remain focused on the trade war after China retaliates. China said it would impose an additional 34% tariff on all imported U.S. goods, matching President Trump's latest levies on Chinese imports. Fed Chair Jerome Powell adding insult to injury today and making comments fueling investors' worries. Powell says that he sees tariffs resulting in a temporary rise in inflation and slower economic growth. All 11 of the S&P 500 sectors fell and were down more than 2.5%. Nike, the only Dow winner, the worst Dow Recliners, Goldman Sachs, Visa, and Travelers. Hillary Barsky, Fox News. Next update within 30 minutes. Check back 3, 4, 5 times a day. Get connected to DFW with News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM. WBAP.
This hour of WBAP is brought to you by the Will Height Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to willheightwins.com.
That's willheightwins.com. Welcome to Texas and your station for common sense.
Common sense solutions. That's where we have to go if we're going to save our state and save our country. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And
I
now,
hope that car gets in there by the time I get up there. Yeah, it might.
Second opinions. You get them with your health, so why not with your wealth?
Your stock market investments deserve a second opinion.
At Henyon & Walsh, it only takes a second
To schedule your free second opinion.
Go online and search for Henyon & Walsh. The second opinion, people. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA.
And this lady just whooped around and got it.
The best place to get a new Nissan in North Texas. Take it from me, Jerry Reynolds, the Car Pro. 4 stars Nissan in Corinth is worth the drive from anywhere. Great deals and amazing customer service await you. Check out their 1,500 customer reviews, averaging 4.8 out of 5 at dealerrater.com. Talk to Gary Cardwell, the general manager at 4 Stars Nissan on I-35 and online 4starsnissan at Denton.com.
Mark Levin, News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Kimberly James in the 24-hour Breaking News Center.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the one.
In Farmers Branch, working a new accident. Two right lanes are blocked on 35 southbound at Valley View Lane. Traffic is sluggish from Valwood Parkway. About a 20-minute delay. And in Carrollton, still working that accident. The two left lanes are blocked in traffic still.
I imagine at one time this was a wonderful place.
About a 45-minute delay. And in Dallas, South Dallas,
Catholic
finally making some headway. Did have a road closure due to that.
Doesn't say the name.
Jackknife 18.
Our Lady of something.
45 at South.
Probably Our Lady of Guadalupe.
As you approach SM right freeway, now the two left lanes are just blocked, so they've opened up a couple lanes. Traffic still backed up past I-30 and 75 southbound from Lover's Lane to I-30 thanks to this crash. Almost an hour delay there. With WBAP First Traffic and Weather on the Ones, I'm Dan Miles.
Classic Chevrolet in Grapevine, the back-to-back #1 Chevrolet dealership in the world. More new Chevrolets to choose from than anyone. All priced to sell at ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023 and 2024.
For WBAP, I'm WFAA meteorologist Jesse Hawila. 51 tonight, widespread showers and storms by daybreak on Saturday. Then we'll have showers and storms becoming less in coverage by the afternoon on Saturday. 54 the high, mostly cloudy and dry on Sunday, 57.
58 degrees right now in Dallas, 57 in Fort Worth, and news brought to you by Classic Chevrolet and McGowan Publishing. Just hours after China announces it's imposing 34% tariffs against American imports. This after the White House this week added 34% on China after imposition of 20% already in place. Stock markets worldwide react. On Wall Street, the S&P index down 6% today. The Dow down 5.5%. NASDAQ off 5.8%. The market slide believed caused at least in part by tariffs on U.S. imports announced by China. The Dow off 2,231 points today. Head of the Federal Reserve also warning about how tariffs can push up inflation. In your money news, powered by McGowan Group Wealth Management, another reprieve announced today for TikTok.
President Trump is signing an executive order extending the timeline for TikTok to find a new owner for another 75 days. The social media and video app faced a Saturday deadline to divest from ByteDance, a Chinese company.
My friends telling me to
Several potential suitors have emerged, including Oracle and Amazon. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Next update within 30 minutes. Breaking
more
news,
money on
24/7. Check back 3, 4, 5 times a day. Keep connected, DFW, with News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM. WBAP.
You got your
severe weather, severe coverage. Keep connected, DFW, to your official weather station. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now, new on FM at 93.3.
If you've been injured in an accident, you want us to handle your case. Texas drivers know that when they're hit, we hit back harder. Get your free case review at willhightwins.com.
Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome.
Experience the joy of Easter at First Baptist Dallas with 2 unforgettable Sundays. On Palm Sunday, April 13th, join us for worship with our
Palm Sunday is coming.
And a message from Dr. Robert Jeffress. That evening, participate in the Lord's Supper and the March for Eternal Life to Clyde Warren Park. On Easter Sunday, April 20th, celebrate Christ's resurrection with worship and a powerful message at 9:15 or 11 a.m. For details, visit firstdallas.org.
Here's automotive expert and nationally syndicated talk show host, Jerry Reynolds.
Sam Pack and his Ford DFW 5-star Ford dealerships are proud to be a part of the Ford From America for America program that gives you a chance to buy a true Ford Motor Company employee pricing. We haven't seen this since right after 9/11. Here's just one example of what this program will do for you at 5-star Ford. Get a new 2024 F-150 XLT with the 2.7 EcoBoost at true Ford employee pricing plus $2,000 cash back, and you get 5.9% APR for 72 months. Just to give you an example, a truck like this has a sticker price of $56,045. Your cost $48,632 plus 5.9% for 72 months. The best vehicles will go first, so get to 5-Star Ford in Carrollton, North Richland Hills, Louisville, or Dallas. Online at sampack.com.
Dan Harker and Empower Home Team with Keller Williams specialize in selling homes that didn't sell the first time. Hi, I'm Brad Barton. Dan Harker and Empower Home Team use their own exclusive home seller programs that other agents simply can't offer. In fact, these programs are proven to get home sellers over 6% more than the average agent can get them here in North Texas. And since Dan Harker and Empower Home Team are so confident in their services, they will guarantee the sale of your home in writing. You just sit down with them, agree to the price and the deadline, and if your home isn't sold by your deadline, Dan will buy it himself. It's just that simple. Becky contacted the Empower Home Team after a very frustrating and stressful experience with the agent who first listed her home. Dan got her home sold for top dollar in just 10 days. She said Dan's expertise and knowledge of the market set the Empower Home Team head and shoulders above everybody else. Now, if you want results like that, call Dan Harker and Empower Home Team at 844-672-SOLD. That's 844-672-SOLD, or just visit HarkerHasTheBuyers.com. That's HarkerHasTheBuyers.com.
Hi, Angie. This is your phone here in the cup holder. Pick me up.
No, I'm driving.
Oh, look. A text from Mr. Jeremy.
Phone. Quiet.
Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone.
Quiet.
Text. Crash. A message from TxDOT.
At work or at home, get breaking news, traffic, weather, and business information on our free app, WBAP Streaming, powered by InvestYRefi.com. That's invest, the letter Y, REFY.com.
Breaking news, traffic, and weather alerts sent instantly to your phone. Sign up today by downloading the free WBAP app at WBAP.com. Keep connected, VFW. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now, new on FM at 93.3.
Passionately cerebral voice. Talk with that voice now. 877-381-3811.
Well, let's keep doing a cleanup job here, as we must. Judge Boasberg, this is the notorious radical left-wing judge who they pretend is a Bush guy. They're fairly moderate, don't you know? Judge Boasberg poised the whole Trump administration in contempt, takes down names of DHS officials. Pretty sketchy, he said, what they did. U.S. District Judge James Boasberg grilled Trump administration lawyers over whether they defied a court order, blocking deportations under a wartime immigration law, a potential step toward holding the administration in contempt. Didn't I mention this a week or 10 days ago, Rich, that that's where he was going with this? It issues the administration's use of the 1798 Alien Enemies Act to deport Venezuelan nationals. Don't you love it? Including alleged members of the violent Tren de Agua gang. Boasberg pressed Deputy Assistant Attorney General Drew Ensign on why the government appeared to ignore an emergency injunction last month, halting those deportations. The administration has appealed the underlying case to the Supreme Court, but for now, Boasberg is weighing whether there's probable cause to move forward with contempt proceedings, a question that remained open after a tense exchange in court. This guy is hot to trot to hold this administration in contempt. Now, he wants the law to be followed because he said, I'm a judge. But when it comes to the Constitution, he's stomping all over it. Stomping all over it. He said he would issue a decision as early as next week on how to proceed if he finds grounds to hold the administration in contempt. During the hearing, Ensign of the Trump DOJ was repeatedly questioned about who in the Trump administration had information about the flights and when the 3 deportation flights left U.S. soil for El Salvador. At least 261 migrants, illegal aliens, were deported that day, including more than 100 Venezuelan nationals who were subject to removal solely on the basis of the law temporarily blocked by the court. What is wrong with you, AP? Who the hell wrote this? You bend over backwards for these people. It's sick. During the hearing, okay, you maintained the government was in full compliance with the court's order on March 15, correct? Boasberg asked Ensign.
Edson said yes, to which the judge responded, "It seems to me that Cameron acted in bad faith that day. If you really believed everything you did that day was legal and would survive a court challenge, you would not have operated the way that you did," Boasberg said. He repeatedly questioned Edson about his knowledge of the flights, whether any related materials were classified, which could have triggered state secrets protections. Cameron lawyers have refused to share information in court about the deportation flights, whether the plane or planes of migrants knowingly departed U.S. soil after the judge ordered them not to, citing national security protections. But according to Ensign, that may not have been an issue. He told Boasberg the flight information likely wasn't classified, prompting the judge to wonder aloud why it hadn't been shared with him in an ex-party setting. He didn't think of one instance where the state secrets privilege was invoked using unclassified information. He asked to respond. Pretty sketchy, the judge said. Another focus on the hearing was timing, both when President Trump signed the proclamation authorizing use of the Alien Enemies Act and when federal agents began loading planes with migrants bound for El Salvador. Boasberg noted that Trump administration began loading the planes the morning of March 15, hours before the flights left the U.S. Saying that it's not crazy to infer there was prior knowledge and actions ahead of the Saturday night deportations, he asked Ensign. The judge pressed the lawyer with the names, locations, agencies of individuals who were privy to the removals, as well as internal conversations with other administration officials. Here's my question, Judge. How many of these officials received your written order? How many were given proper notice by the court? Exactly 0, because you issued the written order after the planes left. And that's the point, America. And I should damn well know, because that was my case 22 damn years ago in that same courthouse involving the Environmental Protection Agency. Where was your written order, Judge? When did you write it? To whom did you issue it? And the reason, the court decided, Judge Lambert at the time decided, that he should have put his order in writing, was to ensure that people had knowledge and were informed. And he himself realized he needed to do that. If you're going to hold people in contempt of your order, they need to see the order. Not hear about it, not know about it. They need to have it.
To have it.
Who did you tell about my order, Boasberg asked. Once the hearing was done, who did you tell? You get the point? Who did you tell? They shouldn't have had to tell anybody. If it had been put in writing, and it would have taken no time at all. He could have said, I want the parties to wait, I'll be right back. Gone in the conference room, write it himself, or have one of his clerks write it, however he wanted to do it. Come back, here's my order. Spread the word. Spread the order. It's a big department, the Department of Homeland Security. It's a big federal government. It's the Department of Security Context and State Department. The names of individuals at Boasberg's request, which the judge then carefully transcribed on a pad of paper, interjecting at times to clarify the spelling. And if I were any of those individuals who he seeks to hold in contempt, you should object, you should appeal in that district to Washington, D.C. Did you get a copy of his order? No. No, I didn't get a copy of his order. Why? Because he didn't put it in writing. Why is that so important? So I know exactly what the hell we're supposed to do. That's why. 22 years ago. That's what that district held. Now, this should be embarrassing to Boasberg, but I notice the media are strenuously avoiding this issue. And this is even...
Did the radio go off?
After so well, we went to State Department. That's exactly why it needed to be in writing. The judge screwed up, and he's angry. And what should happen now is the question should be asked what the Department of Justice should do with these individuals who are named. Did you receive anything in writing? The question is, Judge, when did you write your order, and how did you issue it? And then your question should have been if you had any integrity, and you have none. When I wrote my order, were the planes already in the air? Were they? Answer's yes. Because you wrote it, but you wrote it late. Now this is apart from his authority, constitutional authority, which I would argue is none. This guy's the chief district judge in this jurisdiction. And he doesn't even know how to put an order in writing. He just chose not to do it. What were the circumstances, Judge? Why didn't you put it in writing right away? Why didn't you do it? Why didn't you say there, right in court? You could have written, yeah, honest to God, he could have handwritten it, but he could have said, wait, 30 minutes, 20, whatever time you need, I'll be right back. Bring it back. Here's my order. I want you to give it to every department and every individual in any department that has anything to do with it. But he didn't do that. Now, this guy's been a judge for a while, since Obama. Obama appointed him. He's been a judge, I think, like 12, 13, 14 years. He knows how this works. But to me, if he wants to make a big issue out of this, then the big issue should be made out of this. But the media are not reporting the truth here, and the truth is this. When exactly did you issue your order, Judge, and to whom did you give it? And to whom did you say it should be given? Fair question. You know how 2, 3, my brothers and sisters at Landmark Legal Foundation. I'm each emeritus, which means I'm the so-called pretty face from time to time, but they are fantastic lawyers under Pete Hutchison and the guys. They're just fantastic. To find a way to involve yourself in this, obviously not a standing issue. I'm talking about our case. 22 years ago, the Department of Justice did. And I think we should say, hi, we're over here. That was our case.
Oh, look at the little girl.
You know, hold people in contempt, and you didn't put the order in writing. You put it in writing at a late time. What needs to be determined here, perhaps I would argue, defense counsel should do it because they're going to need defense lawyers. Is the judge's conduct, when the judge did what the judge did, and how he communicated it, and to whom he asked it to be communicated. It's on the judge. It's on the judge. And it means a lot to me as a factual matter.
Oh, shit.
When he's asking. Who had knowledge of the flight? Who had knowledge of the flight?
How come that I gusto? This is not